We'll get into Arsenal in a second, but just on Noni, Paul, I'll start with you. I mean, do you think he's kind of made his point? Because he did go through that really kind of tough start where, some Arsenal fans online creating a petition to have the club not sign him. How do you think he's fared so far?
I think he's been absolutely outstanding. I'm a big Chelsea fan. If there was one player I would have sold at the start of the season from Chelsea, it would have been him. I never see him hardly have one good game at Chelsea. He never went past players, very hot and cold. But since he's been at Arsenal, he's been a revelation. He's been absolutely unbelievable. Play different ways. Arsenal play a lot quicker. They get the ball out to the wingers and they can go and have a go. And 1v1, I think he's one of the best about, if I'm being honest. I think he's one of the best wingers. If you give him the ball 1v1, he doesn't mess about. He's not fussed in. I know he does a nice trick there, but he's not fussed in doing tricks. He's very direct, runs at real pace. And when you're a defender, you do not want people running with you at pace. You don't have to do too much. Very rarely he stops the ball. He gets the ball and he goes bang that way. Like Salah did, do you know what I mean? Salah just got the ball and went bang. And people can't tackle you when you're doing that. And, I think he's been absolutely outstanding. I got it horribly wrong.
Yeah. I mean, for you, Julian, seeing a player like Noni, do you think this is good that Arsenal have got a player like that? Because usually we're so used to seeing Arsenal play that certain type of way where it's not as direct as sometimes the fans might want.
Yeah, I think Mikel has been a fan for a while. Not too much based on the stats that we saw at Chelsea, because Merce is right. There was maybe not enough from him in the end product. Yeah. But in terms of profile and what I think Mikel believed he could do with Madueke, I think he was a player that he liked from a very long time, even before the move. So it was an expensive signing in a way at £50 million to strengthen your squad, especially in those positions. But if you're a top club, that's what you do. Yeah. You sign players who could start or could be on the bench, could come off the bench to have an impact. But those players are be expensive, naturally.
Yeah, Paul, Arsenal have suffered with injuries in years gone past, particularly to Bukayo Saka. And there was that moment whenever he went down, Arsenal fans held their breath. Do you think now that they've got a player like Noni, describe to us what that's like maybe for the potential left back, thinking, okay, Saka's gone off and now I've got Noni to face?
Oh, there's nothing worse. I mean, nothing worse. When you see someone's number come up, you think, I've got rid of him. Yeah. And then all of a sudden someone else comes on who's very similar and who's fresh. That's what they need. The next part of the season with the Champions League, and the league gets harder. The longer this season goes on, when you lose a game, the more effective it becomes. And to swap players that are like for like, it's very rare you can get that. Usually you bring a top quality player off and you're going to really weaken the team. Yeah. But you're not at the moment. The way he's playing, I think it's perfect over that side.
What about Arsenal as a whole? Do you think they've got that squad depth needed to go on and push and win the whole thing?
I think Arsenal's biggest game of the season is on Saturday night at Everton. I think it's a humongous game. I think Man City will beat West Ham. They'll be top of the league. And Arsenal will be walking onto that pitch thinking, we were 7 points clear not long ago. Yeah. We didn't even have a danger. And the last team you want to be chasing you down. I think this is a massive game. Yeah. Massive psychologically. But they have got a good squad. But I see a lot of nerves last weekend. It was scary.
Yeah. Julian, I know you were at the game last weekend. I saw you there. Yeah. But what did you make of it? Did you think it was alarming for Arsenal fans? Or was it quite a good defensive display from Wolves?
I would not say, I don't think it was worrying in the sense that I think this was the worst performance of the season. By far, I think everybody would say that. I think you probably are allowed to have one like that in each season, even if you're a top team. It happened to Liverpool last season, even when they won the league. It happened to City before, where you off it. There's no rhythm, there's no energy. It's a Champions League week, so you've already played. And I know it was only in Bruges, but it's still a Champions League week. You'd played a lot previously, which was not the case of Wolves. It's a 5-4-1 or 5-3-2 that you've played against, but they were very defensive, they were very aggressive, and it's just not your day. But you just grind out a win. And I think that was the most important. Whatever happens, 2 own goals, just not much from the game, you take it. It just can't happen again. Yeah. And then if it happens another time, whether it's this weekend, in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, then you can worry. But a one-off like this, if it's a one-off, I don't think it's too alarming.
Yeah, but Paul, where do you think it went wrong in that game?
I thought they started I thought it was one of them, we just got to turn up and we'll win this football match. And I thought that was the whole stadium. And that's what they got to live with, Arsenal, for the next 22 football matches and the next, 11 at the Emirates. It's going to be like that. The right to have 11 people sat behind the ball, and they need to move the ball quickly. And I think sometimes they've got to be a little bit more open the game up where you're inviting the other team to have a go at you. And that wasn't the case. Do you know what I mean? It was just constant. Sometimes you've got to draw them out. Go back to the goalkeeper, bring them out, start again. Sometimes Arsenal play like 10 minutes in their half, but it's like an ice hockey power play. It's there.
Sideways.
It's all sideways,
Yeah.
you know. And for me, he's got to get the horses for courses. I thought the week before he should have played Gyökeres at Villa Park. Last week, I think he plays Mourinho.
I agree.
You know, where you need that guile. When you've got to break teams down, you need that player who's just going to come off. He's going to flick a ball there, flick a ball.
Yeah.
He might come off, and then someone's going to make a run inside.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's horses for courses. He's got to work out them things, Arteta. And I think the last couple of weeks he's got it wrong. And you know, they've lost one and drew one.
Well, I mean, he's got the squad though. You know, he's going to still make mistakes like that. But I can't believe it. It feels weird to even say it's been 6 years this weekend that Mikel's been in charge of Arsenal. Paul, do you think it's quite a good blueprint sometimes, maybe for some of the other clubs, that a manager, you know, with the right backing, even if with a shaky start at the beginning, it can go good, like come good in the end?
I think so. Time, or you know, you got to have, people got to have time. You know, there's only two sure things in management. If you're an Arsene Wenger, probably, or not even an Arsene Wenger. If you're a Sir Alex Ferguson, you pay your tax, you get the sack.
Yeah.
They're the two surest things in management.
Yeah.
You've got to give time. You know, what he's done, I hear people go, if they don't win it this year, Arteta's got to go. He's got the life back in Arsenal. They're not also runs now. 6 years ago, 7 years, they were also runs. You know, they had no chance of ever winning the league. Would they get in the top four? It was a flick of a coin. They are big players now. He's got rid of everybody, all the trouble, all them, and he's brought life back to the club, and they are a very good team. That if you finish above Arsenal, you will win the Premier League.
Yeah.
Look. I mean, look at now we see Carlo Ancelotti on the screen, but this Arsenal team for his first game there, and the one that he has now in 6 years. And I know they've invested money, of course, and rightly so. But the value of the squads, the way they're playing, even the whole club, as you know too well, from the bottom to the top, it's transformed everything. And okay, yeah, the league title is missing. Sure, it would be much better if they'd won more. I get that, but everything he's done for this football club in the last 6 years is impressive.
Yeah, 100%. I think they win the league. There's 22 games to go. Their squad is so big and so strong that they win the league, in my opinion. If there was 6 games to go and I was sitting here and it was 2 points, then I'm going Man City.
do you think sometimes when people are saying, like, you know, I can even catch myself saying it sometimes, it's like when people say, you know, I think they're going to go on and win the league, is that because of the squad depth and what we think they should do, or is that a reasonable thing? Are we kind of ruling out Man City too early?
They're the best team. I think they're the best team and they have the best squad. And their manager is maybe not at the level of Pep Guardiola, but not far. So you've got maybe the second best manager in the league, the best squads, arguably, and in terms of starting 11, certainly what we see, the best defense for sure. Okay, maybe not the best attack, but you're not far. So you've got everything there, plus the experience that you've drawn from the last 2 seasons where you were so close, and for whatever reason you just missed out. Whether it's your own fault, whether it was injuries, the pressure got to you, I don't know, mistakes that you made, all of that should be enough for them to go and win it.
But Paul, if they don't win tomorrow, would that change your mind?
I'd want to see the players in the next game after that.
Yeah.
Because it will change. It will.
So they've got Everton away, Brighton at home, Aston Villa at home.
Yeah. And then I'd want to see then, because then all of a sudden you draw one of them 2 games and Man City win, and then it's 3 points, and then all of a sudden it's catch up. But for me, I just don't see. They've got hard games coming up, but if they play to the best of their ability, they are the best team. And they've had the injuries they've had. If Man City had them, they'd be nowhere near them, nowhere near the players they've been missing. And I'm talking players where they play every week.
Yeah.
I hear some managers come out after a game and go, I've got 8 players out. And you go through the 8 players and you go, well, one of them plays and the other 7 don't play. These are big players for them, big players.
And the home fixture for the second half of the season is obviously better because
they've had some big games.
Liverpool at home, Villa at home,
and a hard
Chelsea
start,
at home.
didn't they?
Well, there we go. Well, looking forward to it. Arsenal are part of a 3.
Good morning.
As it's Christmas, let's stick with tradition and start with some injury updates. Sorry, I tried to be different, but it's impossible. Ben White, obviously, we think he's got some kind of hamstring issue. He's had a scan. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, he's out. He's evolving well. He's not a major injury, but it will keep him out for a few games, I think.
Oh, So better than maybe has been reported out there. It's not a major hamstring problem.
I don't think it's going to be, and Ben is a really fast healer as well. So let's hope that we're going to have him in the next few games.
Also, I'm seeing reports that there might be a bit of a target for Gabriel in terms of that big Aston Villa match on the 30th of this month. Would that be about what you were aiming for?
He's pushing hard, as he always does every time he's out, and he's evolving really well. He's doing pitch sessions, so he's not too far. We have to see in the last stages of that rehab how he progresses, but we are quite positive about it.
And earlier this week, I think it was Tuesday, we were allowed him to do our initial 15 minutes of access for the cameras to train.
What did you get from it?
We got the fact that really happy bunch.
Okay.
A group of Premier League winners in the making.
Top.
And no Zubimendi, certainly while we were there. I just wanted to check that was just part of his normal process.
Yeah, that was load management for a few players that played a lot of minutes recently, so that's probably the reason why.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much.
6 years as you kick off against Everton tomorrow exactly.
Okay.
Has it gone quickly or slowly?
It's going fast. A lot happened, but it's been an incredible journey, and enjoyed every minute of it.
And obviously your first game, you weren't in charge, but you were in the stand. The first game after you were appointed was at Everton. I think Carlo Ancelotti was in the stand as well. And back to Everton tomorrow, but a different stadium. How will that feel? Because obviously your connections with Goodison.
Well, it's strange, but very exciting as well. I think obviously one of the most iconic stadiums in the Premier League is not any longer part of our schedule, but I'm going to have the opportunity to witness, we're all going to have the opportunity to witness an incredible stadium that they built, and Saturday night, you know what you expect. All
those games that you played at Goodison, but as a manager, it was a little bit of a bogey stadium for you, wasn't it? I think you only won one.
For all the away visitors, it's always like this. It's a really tough place to go. We all know that, and that's why we're going to have to be at our best to win on Saturday.
So the mission is to make the new place, Everton's new place, a bit more of a stadium where you can go in and get a win as Arsenal.
Yeah, and we had in the last few years very good records away from home, and that's the places that you have to go and win the game, and in order to achieve that we're going to have to be really good.
Thank you.
Niv from the Premier League. And good morning. You're about to start a busy schedule of 7 games in 22 days. The games are coming thick and fast. You've been involved in the Premier League environment for many years as a manager, as a player. Despite the hectic schedule, what is it the most you enjoy about being around the Premier League in the festive season?
That is different. That it hits you with big demands and a lot of games and a lot of things happening, not only in your professional life but in your personal life as well, because there are special days for all of us. But I see it as an opportunity. I think we are blessed to have the opportunity to play when people are on holidays. They can enjoy, a lot of families. I think the atmosphere that is created in the stadium, it's unique, and that's what we have to enjoy.
If you look at your outfield players, except Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi played the highest amount of Premier League minutes, and this is his first season not experiencing a winter break. In terms of managing the workload, how do you try to do it and to get the best for him and for the team?
Well, in the small windows that we have, we make sure that we look after him, and he understands that every possibility and every chance that you have to look after yourself, you have to take it in this league, because the demands are going to be really, really high. But I think he's coping really, really well with the league, with all the challenges that the league brings to you, a new club, a new country, and I think he's been exceptional.
You spent 6 years at Everton. Goodison Park is an iconic stadium. When you move into a new ground, a new stadium, how important it is to maintain that connection between the club and the fans, you think? And you know Everton really well, their fans are really enthusiastic in a completely new stadium.
Well, I imagine that that's what they've been trying to achieve. It's never going to be the same, because everyone has his own history, energy and moments, and then you have to translate that. We had experience here at Arsenal as well in order to achieve that. So it takes time.
Ian Toswell. Hi Mikel, how are you?
Good, thank you.
6 years in charge. In terms of your achievements, would you say changing the culture of the football club is right up there?
It was one of them. It was the first foundation that we have to sit, and I think that was done pretty rapidly. Maintaining it something that is very, very difficult, and you need a lot of good people and very aligned people to achieve that. I think we have that in a really strong and solid way, but all the things socially, the transformation has been around the club in terms of the size, in terms of revenues, in terms of the squad that we build, the value of the sporting success that we had, even though we haven't won any major trophy yet. I think it's very, very consistent, so we are in the right place.
You mentioned not having won any major trophies yet. That could come this season. You seem a very modest man. You like to share the praise. How much, though, really is this all down to you?
But one man cannot really change anything, especially when you talk about the size, the history of this football club. You need a lot of good people, very committed people around you with the same vision, the same work ethic, the same passion. And I'm very lucky because I had throughout that. And then at the end, you need a lot of support, and starting from upstairs with everybody that makes decisions alongside you. But the most important one are the players. I think the players have to buy into what you say and what you do, and I feel very lucky because those players, they give you 100% in the direction that you want every single day.
Tomorrow you face a man who brought you to English football, and maybe apart from the grey hair, not much has changed about David Moyes. Just talk about your admiration for him.
Yeah, I think that's the word that I will use. Gratitude and admiration. I think he taught me the love that he's got for the game, and then the integrity that the game requires at any cost. You know, I think he's a remarkable man. I think the way he managed the club, the people, his players, it's outstanding, and I'm very grateful for everything that he did for me, for Everton as well. But I think in general for English football as well, because he's been an example of how to behave in good moments and in difficult ones. That is normally when you see how people are, and I think David on that is something extraordinary.
Finally, a slightly left field question, not football wise, but if I could wrap you up a little present for Christmas Day, what would you like to get?
Win. all the games that we won. No, that's it. After the rest will come naturally, but my mood, my energy is going to be much better, so that's what I want.
We'll go to Matt from the Standard.
Hi Miguel. When you took charge 6 years ago, what chances then would you have given yourself of still being here now?
How much would I bet, you mean? I don't know. If I say, okay, I never coach at the highest level, I come to a club that is in a difficult stage of its history, and the recent past of the previous managers, I don't know. But you have to take this job day by day. I do the same on day one, that today. Do your best, do what you feel, make sure that the people are on board with you in what you do. And that's it. And then at the end, in my job, at the end, it's about winning football matches. That's it.
And up front, Mikel Merino's, you've used him primarily, I guess, when injuries have sort of left you short of other options. At the moment, you do have more options, but Back and Gavi. Even with them fit, do you still sort of see Mikel as an option to start up front ahead of them? Yeah, he sets an option. I think he's giving us every reason as well to consider him in a really serious way. You look at the goals that he scored and the importance of those goals, I think he needs to be right up. And with, I guess, Victor still adapting, is Mikel almost at the moment maybe a more natural fit for the team and how they've been used to their playing? I don't know if this is the word, but he's a player that has done a job with his qualities and in the games that we demanded these qualities. Victor brings many other different ones, and it's great that we can have those, and now Gavi as well, which he came in the last two games and made an impact in the game.
Hi Miguel. Last week you said Kai Havertz was doing stuff on the pitch. I was just wondering if that's still the case and how close he is to coming back.
He's progressing really well and quite fast in the last few weeks. So we are really positive that if everything continues like that in the next training sessions, he's going to be with us soon.
And you mentioned that away form over the last few years has been really strong, but in the last 3 Premier League away games, I think Arsenal have conceded the first goal in each of those, so Sunderland, Chelsea and Aston Villa. What do you put that down to? Because I think after the Wolves game you mentioned defensive habits you didn't like to see, and was that something that crept in from those games, or was that more individual?
It's about consistency. I think we've lost 1 game in 21. yeah, away from home. So that said, you in this league, the difficulty of that. But if you want to continue to that, you have to hit almost perfection in a lot of things that you do. We've lost 2 games in the last kick of the game, two possibilities to win the games as well. But that's what we have to learn and do it better.
Tom, footballer.
Hi, Mikel. You mentioned off the Wolves game about things deteriorating when you don't get to train as often as you would like. You've obviously now had this first midweek off, and I'm curious, what have you been able to establish? What's been recovered in this week that had deteriorated in those weeks?
Well, one sometimes is the level of energy and consistent energy that you need throughout a game to sustain when you have played with so many minutes in their legs. And other things are small things like we talked about, those defensive habits or connections that you don't build because you don't have to do that. And this week we have time to work on them, and hopefully we're going to see an improvement on Saturday.
And you're playing in a brand new stadium as well this weekend. We've seen a lot of new stadiums built. West Ham, of course, moving to the London Stadium, Everton moving, Arsenal back in 2006 as well. And those types of atmospheres and the old grounds that were so intimidating, do you ever feel like they get lost when a team moves to perhaps a bigger, more broader arena style stadium?
I don't know. Sometimes when you change the location, maybe as well. But I don't know. We're going to have to go and witness how it looks like on Saturday night. It is going to be different to the previous one. You cannot expect to have the same one, but I think it will bring some good and positive things as well, I imagine.
Okay, last year in the live section, firstly Karen, BBC.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
When you've got all your forwards fit, you've got lots of options at the moment, which means I'd imagine you've got more headaches in terms of selection. So what's the process in terms of picking who plays for which game? Is it about the opposition? Is it about who's ready? How do you kind of come to the decisions that you do?
So far we are in December. My headaches have come with having no options in the front line and not options in the back line. That's the headaches. I haven't had headaches the other way around. I hope that I do. It won't be headaches. It will be difficult decisions, but they're going to make the team better. The headaches are when you have to make decisions that you're making the team weaker, or you cannot make decisions because you're going to expose other players or players that if you give them too much game time, probably they're going to get injured as well. So that's the headaches.
And just going back to Kai very quickly, is there a game that you have in mind that you're hoping for him to be part of the squad for?
I do. I don't want to say it because, again, I think in that last part of, especially after such a long time, that part of the rehab, I think we need to be cautious and we need to go really firm with every step that we take along the way to make sure that when he's back and he's back for the long term.
James is here.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
There's a lot of focus on Victor Gyökeres after Saturday. Just in general, can I just ask you to assess his first few months at the club? How would you evaluate that?
Well, I think the level of attention on him, it hasn't changed since he signed to today. It's normal. Everybody was so excited to bring a 9 into the club. We did it. We brought a player with an incredible goal scoring record that had to adapt to the league. He had no pre-season. The first few weeks was difficult because physically he wasn't in his best state, and he's a player that needs that like any other player in this league almost to perform at that level. Then he kicked on. I think he had a really good period and he got injured. And now he's back to his bed. I saw a lot of positive things in the last 2 games that he's done. We need to continue to tweak and understand him a little bit better in certain situations, and he needs to do the same. But that's about time, and we have full support for him.
That scrutiny you mentioned, I mean, in Singapore, like even before he'd signed, everyone was talking about him. Sort of from almost before day one, he had that on him. Do you think that's taken him a little bit by surprise, just the level of sort of focus?
I don't know. At the end, you have to experience it. You can imagine the global impact that you're going to have to deal with when you come to a big club and the expectation as it is. But after you have to live it, and living it is always slightly different to your imagination. But he's doing it with a lot of desire. I think his energy level, his commitment, it's absolutely top. And we are here all to help him because we all been here. We all need time. There is always moments, and the strikers have moments. They score more goals, less goals, and we need to be there for him.
You mentioned that adjustment period and obviously the pre-season as well.
Leandro Trossard proved to be the perfect antidote to Arsenal's attacking frustrations, following Mikel Arteta's candid remarks about Victor Gyökeres. Gyökeres may have struggled to truly impress since his summer arrival at Arsenal, but over the weekend, There was finally a glimpse of what he is capable of. More importantly, Trossard showed exactly why he could be the key to unlocking the Swedish striker's full potential during Arsenal's hard-fought 2-1 victory over Wolves at the Emirates Stadium. The 31-year-old winger injected fresh energy into Mikel Arteta's side on Saturday night and helped breathe new life into the Gunners' attack. Shortly after replacing Gabriel Martinelli in the second half, Arsenal found the breakthrough. While Trossard did not directly contribute to either the opening goal or the dramatic stoppage time winner, his influence on the game was undeniable. Trossard took control of proceedings, dictating the tempo and pulling the strings down the left flank. Time and again, he dismantled Wolves' compact defensive setup, releasing Miles Lewis-Skelly into space, picking out Declan Rice on the edge of the box, and crucially, feeding Gyökeres with intelligent, well-timed passes. Operating as a creative hub, the Belgian showcased his playmaking qualities, delivering sharp, purposeful distribution. His introduction completely shifted the momentum of the match, and for the first time in weeks, Arsenal's $64 million striker briefly looked like a genuine threat. Before Trossard's arrival, Gyökeres endured a frustrating and ineffective outing in attack. In fact, the Belgian was the only player to carve out a clear-cut opportunity for the 27-year-old forward, slipping a simple yet incisive ball in behind the Wolves' backline. Gyökeres controlled the pass, beat his defender, and aimed for the far post. Wolves goalkeeper Sam Johnstone was beaten, but the Swedish striker saw his effort agonizingly drift just wide. If Arteta truly wants to get the best out of Gyökeres, then granting Trossard a more prominent role in the starting 11th could be the solution. Speaking to TNT Sports after the win, the Arsenal manager openly addressed the challenges facing his marquee signing. "It's a collaboration between the two," Arteta explained. "He was in some really good positions, but the ball didn't arrive quickly enough, accurately enough, or with the precision a number 9 needs to score." But his commitment and intention were there, and we have to keep pushing. Arteta was equally vocal in defending Gyökeres prior to the match, urging patience with the striker's adaptation to English football. "There was huge expectation because we were signing a proven goal scorer, probably with the best statistics in Europe," Arteta said. "But he's coming into a different league, the most demanding league in the world. What happens if he doesn't score in 5 or 6 games? That was the only question I asked him. How are you going to react if you don't score in 5 or 6 matches? Can you handle that? And what about the next 100 games? That's what people need to see. The sample size is still very small, so leave him alone. Let him do what he does best. Support him, and I'm convinced things will come good." That message from Arteta resonated beyond the Emirates. In the days following the Wolves' victory, the debate around Gyökeres intensified among pundits, supporters, and former players. While some questioned whether Arsenal's record signing is truly suited to the Premier League's pace and physicality, others pointed to the structural issues around him rather than the striker himself. Much of the post-match analysis focused on Arsenal's chance creation and balance in the final third. The Wolves game highlighted a recurring theme this season. Gyökeres often makes the right movements, but the service into dangerous areas has been inconsistent. When Trossard entered the match, that problem briefly disappeared. Arsenal suddenly looked more fluid, more unpredictable, and far better equipped to supply a traditional number 9. Former players speaking on television and radio were quick to note the contrast. With Trossard drifting inside and linking play, Arsenal's attacking shape became more compact, allowing Gyökeres to stay higher up the pitch and occupy central defenders. That, in turn, created space for midfield runners like Rice and Ødegaard to arrive late in the box. It was a glimpse of an attacking formula that Arsenal have rarely sustained this season. The reaction from supporters has been equally divided. While frustration with Gyökeres' goal return remains, there is growing appreciation for his work rate, physical presence, and willingness to press from the front. Many fans now see Trossard as the missing connector, the player who can translate Gyökeres's movement into genuine scoring opportunities. Internally, Arteta faces an important decision. Persisting with a front line that isolates Gyökeres risks damaging the striker's confidence, especially with tougher fixtures on the horizon. At the same time, promoting Trossard to a regular starting role could mean reshuffling wide positions and reducing Martinelli's minutes, a bold call that would not come without consequences. Yet football at the highest level often comes down to chemistry rather than reputation. The Wolves match suggested that Arsenal's most expensive signing may not need drastic changes to his own game, but rather the right supporting cast around him. If Arteta embraces that idea, Gyökeres' slow start could soon be remembered as nothing more than a difficult adjustment period. For now, the pressure remains. Goals will ultimately define Gyökeres' Arsenal career, and patience in North London is never unlimited. But with Trossard offering clarity, creativity, and calm in possession, Arsenal may finally have found the key to unlocking their striker and turning promise into consistent production.